Pacers uh haven't put out an episode, hadn't shot in the past 2 weeks, so we hadn't really like went through a breakdown of the playoffs. Don't need to that much. The teams that matter are the teams that are in the NBA Finals. Again, that being the Thunder and the Pacers. Um, let's start out first with series predictions. Who would like to go first?
I'll take a strike at it.
Black
Thunder
Peace.
in three.
All right. I'm gonna go with the trend that I've seen in the Western Conference, with the Thunder winning in a gentleman's sweep 4-1. For whatever reason, they always manage to let team get one game off of them. So kind of just see that happening. I don't see that. I think that the fact that the Pacers are finally playing against a team that's healthy and actually plays defense and has a star they can, go to, I don't think they have a chance. I don't think they have a chance. I think New York was horribly fatigued, uh, to a certain extent, badly coached in that position for what they were bringing to the table. And I feel like the Thunder are greatly coached. I feel like they have the MVP in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's doing a wonderful job of leading the team. And I feel like the team is has enough confidence with them, behind them, to believe in Shea's leadership and to play to their greatest magnitude, in my opinion. So, like I said, for whatever reason, I can't quite pin it, but I think they're gonna drop maybe one game, and after that, it's easy. It's easy. Thunder in five.
Y'all hold it down. I'll be right back.
Um, I believe the Thunder. Mm, it's hard to say. I have a hill that I need to die on. Do I die on this hill, or do I tell the truth? I'm gonna just tell the truth. I think the Thunder will win. I think Indiana's good for 2 games, so that'll make it 6.
You got to give me a reason why you say two, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got to challenge that.
Because I think that they're good for one. I think they're good to steal one on the road, right? And win at least one at home.
Mm. Do you realize how many blowouts have been they put up against teams?
We're talking about
The
I say,
Thunder?
I say this, bro. I think the Thunder, their calling
Yeesh.
card all year has been turn you over and run in transition, right? Like they don't really have a definitive half court offense unless Shea is getting to the mid range or getting to the foul line, right? Like they don't really have a fluid half court offense minus SGA. So I feel as though both teams want to run in transition. However, the Thunder are banking their transition points strictly off tenacious defense, which I think the Pacers struggle at. But one thing that I could see happen, and I think that's just kind of opened my mind up to it. If you look at the Pacers and the Thunder regular season records together, I think the games that they played, and Emax Desk, if you can pull that for me while we live right now, I don't think it's too far off in regards to it being a super competitive. I won't say super competitive. Super would imply, a heightened level of, competition. But I don't think it's far fetched that the Thunder win in six. And I think if Halliburton really cared about his legacy, like I think he does, I think he can cement it by pushing it to seven. I think pushing it to seven was with a chance to win a championship. What can you say about him? You know what I mean? Like in regards to legacies being concerned, as far as Halliburton being rated, one of the more overrated players by his peers within the league. I wonder how that viewing of him is now in comparison, 3 to 4 months back when those bullshit, whatever they was, surveys was going around the league because I think it's a world that exists, bro. I think it is a world that exists because the Pacers share the ball so much and they're predicated off ball movement. You can't key in on one person, bro.
But you're
So you're
getting
gonna have to rely on hellacious team defense and not being able to. And I think that's a beautiful part within their game, and that'll play into their hand. They're not just running the offense. Okay, we got to stop him and we'll win. Shit, you can stop Halliburton. I haven't seen Halliburton have 8 points in the series and the Pacers still win in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like they have that kind of team to where enough people can. It's almost like death by 1,000 paper cuts. You may not see a nigga who scored 40 on the Pacers, but you will see a nigga who scored 12, another nigga who got 15, somebody else who got 16, another
against
person
who
who got
though?
11. You know what I mean?
Against, but no, I think that's all smoke and mirrors, brother. I think their path to the finals has been smoke and mirrors the whole time. Like, who have they actually played that was just like, oh my God, they beat them? Who? Who? I'll turn into an owl on you, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I have not. That's why I don't believe in it. That's why I think they barely get that one. Just because of more of the Thunder's flaw than anybody else's. I think the Pacers don't win a game. Like, well, don't win. They don't win a game. I think the Thunder give up a game, but I don't think
Say
they
this,
win a
bro.
game. I'm so sorry.
The
Especially with
Pacers,
Halliburton leading it.
the
I don't
Pacers just
think
beat the next team that just beat the Celtics. Can I
the
interest you in that?
Injured?
okay, injured.
Wait, no, no, no. Let's not go there
No,
because Jason
no.
Tatum got injured because they was getting their ass beat like a Hebrew slave before that nigga got injured. They was down 2-0 before Jason Tatum even got injured. So I don't really want to hear the argument of, oh, well, they only won because Jason Tatum. They was still putting belt to them niggas when he was playing. So excuse me. I'm not just overly convinced that he's just
But you don't think
that
they
they just didn't
overexert
play
themselves?
anybody. I don't really want to hear that they didn't play anybody.
You just
I can't buy that notion, bro, because I just it's the NBA, bro. It's the playoffs. Everybody's intensity is high.
whoa, no, we're not doing
I
that.
can't buy that, bro. I can't.
No,
I
I
can't
can't
buy
buy
that.
that. I'm sorry. I
Bucks.
I
can't
ain't
buy
Bucks
saying
the
the
is a
fact
Pacers gonna
of
win it, nigga. All I'm
I,
saying is
look,
it's gonna be a little more
it's too
competitive
easy
than
in
you
your
think.
eyes. The Bucks had Giannis by himself and had Lillard out, right?
The Bucks weren't winning shit anyway with Doc Rivers, so I wouldn't really count them.
Come on, man. That's not playing that game. This is it's the reality. It's the reality.
Not playing the
They
game,
had an
bro.
injured star.
I think very less of Doc Rivers, and I don't think the Bucks are gonna
That's
do anything with him as a
at
coach.
some point, yeah.
I
But
think you.
this, come on, this early
I
is a
think
bit
you can.
extreme.
Whether you feel one way or another, you can void Boston and not Boston. I don't know why I'm thinking about the Celtics. You could void the
No
Cavs.
Aura Tatum.
The Cavs. You can void the Cavs and the Bucks because if ultimately when they have to go up against a team who is healthy and that being the Knicks, they beat them.
They beat them at after the fact of like crossing a hump. That's what I personally feel like. They got over the Celtics hump. I mean, you can paint any way you want, but that Celtics team was very vicious. And I mean, after you beat that kind of team, I mean, now you're playing against a team who had an easy road. I feel like that's just kind of like that's sports science. We overexerted ourselves. We over game plan for this one team, and now we playing against this team who's well rested, swept through two top teams or two teams they were supposed to get beaten in probably a 6 game series, and now they're here ready to beat us and feeling all kinds of confident because they're in the Eastern Conference final.
I
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
I didn't hear y'all series prediction. What was y'all series prediction?
I said India. I said Oklahoma City in 6.
I said
2 games.
Pacers in 9.
I found it crazy that you giving the Pacers 2 games. I think this is gonna be a sweep.
Yeah, I think them niggas probably get rolled.
This is gonna be a sweep, and
But you know what though? We are gonna have a hell of a podcast if we come back
the
next
Pacers are winning.
Tuesday and the motherfucking Pacers is up 2-0.
Mr. Joel,
Man,
my brother, we do not believe in the Pacers because I know you're gonna listen to this episode. We do not believe in the Pacers. I have y'all getting swept. On the contrary, West, my family, Wesley, me and him, we had a conversation before the playoffs started, and he was adamant about OKC being the team that was championship ready, and I argued him down. I was like, I don't see it, bro. Like, I don't know what you see. And it's after we had that conversation, like the very next game, because I was just talking about the others. I was like, I don't believe in the others. If you could just stop Shea and force the others to like win the game, like that's how you beat OKC. Not breaking news. There's no stopping Shea. um, but even after we had that conversation, like Luke Dort had like a season or like a career high the following game after me and him had that conversation. So Wesley, shout out to you, giving you your props. You was 1,010% right about OKC. So yeah, just had to give you respect and your flowers because I heard it from you first. And I believe in it. I believe. I think I got it being a sweep off the simple fact that I think I know you argue Izzo death by 1,000 paper cuts, but I think for this series to be competitive, um, Halliburton isn't going to be able to only score 8 points, and that's going to be enough to like squeeze out one of these games.
Nigga gonna need